Hi guys and welcome to the F1 Debate Show episode 7. My name is LC.
My name is JT.
Hi and thanks for watching this video, the transition between the Bahrain and the Chinese Grand Prix. This isn't the Chinese Grand Prix preview show, that'll be coming out later this week. And first things first, we're in a new format, a split screen format with some new software, so we hope you really enjoy this video guys. Thanks a lot. Now the first thing we're going to start with, and we hope everyone's seen at the moment, now this particular gentleman isn't in Formula 1 at the moment, but his dad was the most successful driver on paper, a German driver called Mick Schumacher. Now his performance has been exceptional. Now, as I say, he's not in Formula 1 at the moment, but it's like where we've seen his talent from a young age, and if he gets into Formula 1, we've seen how father-son parents have been very successful. Obviously the most successful at the moment was the two Hills of Graham and Damon, 3 world championships between them. But if Mick gets in, it's almost like he hasn't won a world championship, but he'll take over their championships because his dad, 7. So yeah, it's unbelievable. And obviously JT's going to go into more information about the young German. JT?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've watched his performances in recent times ever since he came onto the scene. Obviously he hasn't really done much with his career. He's currently in the Italian F4 championship. He's already won 2 races out of 3 there so far, so he's already shown signs of his dad's what his dad's inherited into him. Obviously, I guess in a way he was going through a difficult time in previous, obviously with the case of what happened to Michael Schumacher, which is probably why he hasn't really had much. I read something about his mum, where he kind of stopped him in a way of stopping him going into Formula 1. Well, not in Formula 1, but going into motor racing for a while.
That makes
while
sense.
His son was currently in hospital, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's why he hasn't done so much. But now he's probably focused back in his own frame of mind. Hopefully his dad's getting better, so he can focus on his race, make him proud, and he's doing well so far. Now he's currently at the age of 17 years old, which is the same age when Max Verstappen entered in Formula 1. Obviously Schumacher is a lot far away from that currently right now. Will we see him in Formula 1? I probably hope
yes.
so. When I posted out a post, there we go, on the F1 for Life page, I discussed about should Schumacher be in Formula 1, and a lot of people were saying yes and no. Mostly no, because they've already had the name Schumacher in the sport, and it's like, well, should he be in Formula 1? Should the name
yes,
Schumacher be in Formula 1?
very much.
I think he should be, because it is inherent from what he did. Can he repeat what his dad did? I certainly hope so.
That would be fantastic.
What I'm seeing from Schumacher, I'm very, very impressed. He's a very, very good potential.
That would be fantastic to see Schumacher in. Just as you said, JT, I mean, for example, obviously we saw Bruno Senna in Formula 1. I mean, Bruno's career wasn't a highlight, unfortunately, because obviously we saw his uncle, Ayrton Senna, in Formula 1. And I was going to say, I mean, for me and you, obviously, unfortunately, we didn't live in the time of Ayrton Senna, but for people who were around when Ayrton Senna was, on top and all that, didn't it give you a bit of goosebumps to see Senna? Obviously, so Senna, Prost, Mansell, all those, in the times when it explained on the telly, and then to see like 20 years later, Senna again. And I'll tell you something as well. In the years when I saw Senna and Schumacher, I mean, that was obviously Michael Schumacher. That really was an almost like, this is an unbelievable moment when Michael Schumacher made his return. I mean, I know people were saying that he wasn't old. I mean, obviously he retired in 2006, but it was obviously he was 4 years out from when he retired. It wasn't really his time, and he didn't really show too much apart from Monaco 2012, which, by the way, I still think if he hadn't got that grid penalty, JT, he would have won that race, and that would have changed his perception of Formula 1. Because I'll tell you something, he retired in 2012 because he wasn't performing. He would have stayed on. Lewis wouldn't have gone to Mercedes, and it would have made a chain reaction. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on a bit, but obviously the name of Schumacher, I mean, it's almost like when you buy a product, okay, so when you buy a product, say if you buy like an electronic device, you could buy an Apple product for say 200 quid, or you could buy just a knockoff, like a small company's one. It could be very good, but it could be 20 quid. But you think, well, which one am I going to buy? You buy the Apple one for the name, and you're going to buy that. You're going to buy Schumacher because of his name. So I would think if he's a good driver, and I would think that if teams had any sense, they would buy Schumacher. They would get Schumacher on their apprenticeships and through the ranks and into Formula 1 just for that name. And I would. As unbelievable. maybe that's how Bruno Senna got into Formula One. Maybe people thought, I mean, he had to be a skilled driver, obviously, but maybe they looked at him and thought, well, hang on, he's called Senna. He's a nephew of Ayrton Senna, the legend. That's why Williams probably got him. Do you know what I mean? That's why Williams probably got him, because they thought we had his dad, Ayrton Senna. So, yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, apparently, I know he had some good investment, Bruno Senna. Obviously, he started out in HRT. And unfortunately, so maybe that's the end of that. Unless Senna has actually, I don't know. I'm sure. Was just started kart, so I think I might be Senna. I could be wrong though, but I believe it is Senna's one of Senna's relations coming up through the ranks.
That would be fantastic.
Last year or the year before.
Yeah, sure. And also it would make 3 Schumachers in Formula One, because remember his brother Ralph was in Schumacher. I was gonna say his brother Ralph was in Schumacher. His brother was in Formula One. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
I would say he's definitely underrated. Ralph Schumacher, he did well.
He did very well. It was.
I think eventually we are going to do a video on like F1 families, where like Schumacher, Ralph versus Michael and all that, like Graham Hill, David Hill, that type of thing. Since this like relation's been like it's coming about with Nick Schumacher, we'll be doing something like that.
This year is actually the most father-son pairings we have, because we have Max Verstappen, son of Jos Verstappen. We have Carlos Sainz, the son of Carlos, obviously. Yes. Carlos Sainz Senior, or don't call me Senior, as Jordan would say.
Don't call me Junior.
Kevin Magnussen, the son of, what's he called? Somebody Magnussen. Jan Magnussen. And Julian Palmer, the son of Jonathan Palmer. So obviously, this year is the most. And is that a special thing in Formula One to say that I'm in Formula One like my dad was? It certainly, I think, in the brain of say Bruno Senna, obviously having his uncle who sadly passed in Formula One, driving a Formula One car, driving a Williams car, maybe that was something that he thought, this is a massive legacy for me.
Definitely, massively, like he would have been definitely emotional when he got that phone call from whoever called him from Williams, saying that you've got a seat with Williams.
Yeah.
Not only him, but his family. Maybe I think Senna's I don't know if Senna's parents are still alive. I don't think they are, but I'm not too sure. But his close relatives, maybe his brothers, sisters, cousins, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Would have been overwhelmed that this Bruno Senna is going to Williams, so that the Senna name lives on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't succeed as we were anticipating.
Nah, unfortunately not.
Which was a bit unlucky. But I mean, as you were saying, I'll say about the father-son partnerships in Formula One. It is really good to see, because it's like unfinished business. Like, I mean, Jos Verstappen didn't do well. Max Verstappen is the next big thing. If they go in championships, that's like the 90s have had their chance to see this Verstappen. Now we've got his son.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how he can do for the name Verstappen. Let's try and rebuild that name. What should have happened, with, like I was saying, with Palmer and Magnussen and all that. So I think it is really good. I mean, for the oldies out there who watched from Formula 1 from the 70s and 80s, who watched like obviously Senna and Jos and Jan and all them, they'll be like, this is weird. I'm seeing that son. Which, I mean, Keke Rosberg as well. We forgot him.
Oh, hey God!
Keke Rosberg, who won his one world championship, as he only won one race. So we forgot about him. So there's another one. Seeing pictures of the old Nico Rosberg back in the day when Keke was racing in the 80s. And now seeing the son potentially going to win the world championship this season, because he's doing very well. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, no, very exciting.
I mean, we've got about Keke Rosberg.
I can't believe that. And also, we could see Nico champion this year, so it'd be follow some championships when obviously, as I say, Damon Hill and Graham Hill are the most successful 3 world championships between them both. So it could we go any further? I mean, if Mick comes in and wins one, that would be 8, and that would be mint.
I mean, definitely. He's either going to be a very good success like his dad.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a Ralph, where he did all right. He won a couple of races, but he didn't do as well. Or it could be a Bruno Senna, where he just came to Formula 1 and did nothing.
By the way, when I talk about Bruno Senna, the only one thing comes to mind, JT. Not that he was the nephew of Ayrton Senna, that he crashed into Sebastian Vettel in Brazil 2012 and made him spin round, and we could have seen Sebastian not world champion. How great would that have been?
That'd be great. And that guy right behind you could have been world champion in that car. Very car.
I know.
So there we go. But unfortunately, he's got his career.
I know. Right, anyway, swiftly moving on to the next topic. Now, as I say, this isn't the preview show. We're going to do that later this week. But obviously, of course, we wanted to mention that Fernando Alonso. Now, his crash in Australia, which was, is it now 4 weeks ago? Yeah, I mean, that was a long time. He obviously subsequently injured a few ribs, broke a few ribs. Now, he obviously always says that he wants to race on, but from a medical point of view, he can't. So the FIA haven't not cleared him, but they haven't cleared him at the moment. Now, we saw that obviously for Bahrain. Now, if Fernando isn't cleared, there's one driver who, if anyone had doubt in Bahrain, will be sure who will be on the top of everyone's list. As you can agree, JT, Stoffel Van Dorn will be unbelievable. Now, do you know what I mean? He'll be excited. Do you reckon he's excited at home? Do you think he's thinking Fernando's out? Yes.
He definitely will be out. If I was Stoffel right now, if I was McLaren reserve test driver, I'd be like, please, don't give me the all clear because I want to race again. We want to see more Stoffel. We want more Van Dorn. We want more Van Dorn in Formula 1.
We do.
Me and Elsie have been raving about him since his appearance at Bahrain. We love this kid.
I know, we do.
I'm really excited for him. Really.
Now he is on the drivers' championship, the 2016 table. Now there's two drivers who aren't on there at the moment. It's Esteban Gutierrez and Fernando Alonso, his teammate. Now he is at the moment in 13th place with his 1 point from Bahrain. So he is ahead of Renault drivers, Kevin Magnussen. He has 2 seasons in Formula 1. Julian Palmer, Marcus Ericsson, Sergio Perez, Pascal Wehrlein, Felipe Nasr. Massive one. And now this guy must be kicking himself. Crazy. He has been in Formula 1 since 2001, world champion with McLaren for 6 years. Jensen Button. Now, I said frequently to JT, I said, Fernando Alonso must be, he must be feeling the most pressure because he's thinking he's a 2-time world champion, he's in McLaren and not going anywhere. But do you know what? I mean, Fernando Alonso will be feeling terrible because he might not see the checkered flag for the 3rd time. But this man, Jensen Button, he's been outshot. He's won lesser point than his team. Sorry, not his teammate. A 3rd driver who's came in for one race, who's not a Formula 1 driver, who's not a Formula 1 world champion. And it's just unbelievable. Now, we said in one of the F1 debate shows about Stoffel Van Dorn scoring in the McLaren Young Drivers Test in late 2015. He came first when, obviously, Fernando and Jensen had a terrible year. And obviously, we were both saying, that's unbelievable. How did Stoffel do that? Do you know what I mean? How did Stoffel do that? Now, he has definitely performed that. So, Jensen is 20th, and obviously then Rio Haryanto. We don't expect loads from him, but this man, Jensen Button, he's, by the way, a manner is ahead of Jensen. I mean, how does that work?
That just proves how Manor have progressed.
Yeah.
And also maybe how Jensen is falling behind. I mean, the car is better. The car is definitely better.
Yeah.
Than last season, as Stoffel has proved. But obviously, Jensen had a bit of an unlucky start in Australia. Qualified well, but then obviously in Bahrain, a bit unfortunate with his technical problem.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will improve for China, so we can see Jensen on the score sheet, 2 points, progress from McLaren. Now, LC, I'm gonna love you and leave you because I need to go.
Right.
I'm really late. I was meant to go literally about 5-10 minutes ago. So I'm going to leave during this video. I'm going to leave you with LC to continue with the debate. No pressure at all, mate. But I really do. You know what I mean? It has to be that type of thing. It won't be like this all the time. But enjoy your company with LC, guys, and I will see you later. See you later, guys.
I'll see you later, JT. Enjoy.